Hi you guys, it's Michelle here and welcome to my channel if you're new, Soul Purpose Activation. Today we are doing a pick a card reading and we are looking at your toxic soul tie, specifically romantic, okay? So what I mean by a toxic soul tie is someone that even after a breakup, you feel drawn to, bound to, and you can't seem to break that emotional attachment, okay, for whatever reason. This person can be outwardly bad for you, treat you horribly, constantly breaking promises, stepping out on the relationship. Or it could be an ex that you may not have even seen for a while, but for some reason they are constantly on your mind, still showing up in your dreams, and you just can't seem to move on past the relationship, okay? That is what I mean by a toxic soul tie. The difference between grieving a recent breakup and a toxic soul tie is you never seem to get over that person. And you're not quite sure why. It just doesn't seem to make sense. This person is really bad for you. Everybody else knows that this person is really bad for you, but for whatever reason, you can't seem to break that connection, that heart connection with this person. Okay, so a lot of the times when people don't understand this, they don't realize it, but they're usually when something like that is happening, it's the result of some kind of an energetic karmic blockage. Okay, and what do I mean by that? When I talk about energetic karmic blockages, I'm talking in terms of a really deep soul level wound. And soul level wounds can be both past life phenomenon and present life. So they can originate in a past life somewhere, or they can originate in this current lifetime. And a lot of the times we will play out, we have soul contracts with people that may have originated in a past lifetime, but because we didn't fulfill that contract, we didn't learn the lesson, we didn't get past kindergarten, so to say, we didn't graduate the test, we reincarnate with that same person in a different lifetime and replay out the dynamic in order to close that karma, to fulfill that contract. That's one of the many types of soul ties and karmic blockages that we can have with somebody. And so we're just going to be looking at things like that. And other kinds of soul level wounds and karmic blockages can be cords, implants, vows, bargains, just different kinds of energetic phenomena like that, okay, that we carry around in our soul records. And you can tell if you're dealing with a karmic soul tie with somebody, or just in general a karmic soul level wound, if you seem to be repeating the same pattern in relationships. It's like the same relationship but a different face, a different identity, a different person. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're looking at soul ties in general, and we are going to be looking at the soul level wound and or the karmic blockage that is keeping that soul tie intact, okay? Because you definitely don't want to stay connected to somebody that's draining you of your vitality, okay? Making you question your self-worth, causing you to not being able to enjoy your experience on this earth, things like that. We really, really want to absolve whatever is keeping you emotionally attached in a toxic soul tie. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking at. Below are your choices, okay? So pile 1 is going to be the green calcite. Pile 2 is the honey or yellow calcite. Pile 3 is pink tourmaline in quartz. And the last one is going to be ametrine. So it's amethyst mixed with citrine. Okay. All right, you guys. I'll see you when you're reading. Hello, pile 4. If you picked the green calcite, then this is going to be your reading. We are going to be looking at the soul level wound that is keeping you bound in that toxic soul tie. Okay, all right, so let's get going. So the first thing we're going to look at is the actual wound itself. And what came up for you guys is a problem with your soul memory system. So very succinctly, a soul memory system is just, you know, your soul has a memory all of its own. And sometimes our own perceptions of our memories can kind of cloud our, you know, our perceptions of ourselves. And in this particular instant, the actual issue is something called soul memory highlighted, where, and this is going to put you in a state where you're constantly making certain choices that result in extreme trauma. And trauma doesn't necessarily have to be physical trauma. Emotional trauma can be very, very toxic. It can be very damaging, okay? So, you know, it can be mental trauma, emotional trauma, as well as physical trauma, okay? And, you know, these negative choices that result in this extreme trauma can sometimes develop and or accompany things like OCD, phobias, PTSD, things of that nature. So this particular issue originated in this lifetime. And for most of you, the majority of you, it originated in your teenage years, okay? Give or take a couple of years. So the majority of you, something happened in your teenage years where, you know, your soul decided that it's going to highlight that memory and remember it at all costs, so that it protects you from something, okay? And we'll get more into you may already know what that issue is. And what we're going to do is this reading is going to really help us understand how this soul level wound has affected your life and has influenced your experience of this soul tie, of this lifetime in general, okay? All right, so the first couple of cards we're going to be looking at, first of all, right away, I'm picking up that you are such a soft, sweet, and caring person. Like, I feel so calm and so comfortable. Like, you could be somebody that I could come to and talk to about anything, and, you know, you would respect my privacy. You know, you wouldn't be the kind of person where I would come to you and tell you my deepest, darkest secrets, and you would go gossip that stuff to somebody else. No, that's not you. I can come to you and tell you my deepest, darkest secrets, and, you know, you just have this ability to lovingly hold space, you know, for that, okay? You have such a giving heart. It's just a beautiful, soft, loving, caring energy that I'm picking up from this stone. Okay, so the first couple of cards that we have are going to give us kind of the general direction of the reading. First, we've got the Love Answers Oracle deck, and universal support is coming through. So definitely something's going on with this connection, where the universe is really wanting to step in and funnel all of the resources available for you to really overcome this toxic soul tie, because I feel that it is blocking you from experiencing, you know, just beautiful, beautiful experiences in every area of your life, okay? So that's beautiful, universal support coming through. Here we've got the Self-Love Oracle, and this is more heart chakra. That's what this is also. You're very connected to your heart chakra. And this is also heart chakra, okay? So like I said, it just reiterates you're such a beautiful, loving, caring, sweet, nurturing person. And then we've got the gift of gratitude, okay? So this is definitely the gift of gratitude is where you're going to be able to funnel that, the universal support. That's how you can actually activate it. is through really exercising feeling good on purpose, finding ways to feel thankful for the experience no matter how heartbreaking, finding the lesson, finding the message, turning things around so that you can not see things as too personal, but see it as, you know, just another, you know, happening on your life journey. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now we've got some oracle cards, not oracle, sorry, tarot. We got some tarot here, and this is going to give me more of an idea about the connection between you and this, you know, in this toxic soul tie, you and this other person. Okay, so we've got death, which is definitely an ending, and not just any ending. Like, this is major arcana, so this is like soul level stuff. Okay, so when I talk about, so this isn't just someone that you happen to meet. You have an actual agreement with this person's soul. Okay, and we'll get more into that here in a minute. Illusions and castles in the sky. So, and it definitely feeling like what do I pick? There's so many options of what do I pick? What do I do? So this can go both ways. It's, you know, someone was very disillusioned by this connection, castles in the sky type of thing, and somebody else had a really hard time picking and choosing. And, you know, it's just too many options were available. Let's see, what else do we have? The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so quite unstable. You never really knew which way things were going to go. Things were really good one minute and really bad the next minute. And it's almost a sense of, you know, the wheel was always turning and you never knew which direction it was going to be going. The Fool, so definitely a new beginning. And this is a very soulful card. This is going back to the very beginning. So this is actually a really good card. People who aren't too familiar with the tarot think of the Fool as somebody that's naive, and that can be in there. This can actually be someone whose heart is so pure that you just tend to see the good in everybody. And, you know, that can lead back to feeling disillusioned because, you know, you're so connected to the higher selves of other people. You're set aback when someone acts in a way where you're like, you're better than this, right? And so it's not necessarily, I mean, yes, it is naive to a certain extent, but the intention is just because you're so pure. You're so pure of heart, and you see that in other people, okay? And that's what it is. But this also signifies a whole brand new beginning. We've got major arcana, a lot of major arcana coming up. So this is definitely, you know, the death of this connection, which the universe is wanting to support you with. So that toxic soul tie can die. You can finally emotionally, mentally, energetically, spiritually detach from this person so that you can finally get back started on your path. And that path is going to be something completely different. What path are we talking about? Not really quite sure. I mean, it could be a whole new path as far as like getting in a whole new relationship with somebody. This could spark a whole new path, even as far as, you know, say if in business and in, you know, relationships you're going this way, and this can spark you to go in a completely different way. So, I mean, this could definitely, you know, you healing from this issue and really disconnecting from this person could send you in a completely different path, but the path that you've always meant to end up on, okay? A very, very good card. The last card we have for tarot is the Ten of Swords. And so this card looks ominous. But the overall general feeling with this card is the reason why this person is laying down and he's pierced with 10 swords in his back is because he was running away from the problem. If he had turned around to face the problem, he wouldn't have gotten pierced. He could have defended himself against this attack. Okay, now sword energy is mental energy, so this isn't necessarily an actual attack from a person, although it could be. But largely this signifies being on the lookout for the thought patterns that you are not facing, that are causing you to feel like you're being stabbed in the back. Okay. And this could also signify being stabbed in the back by the person, like literally stabbed in the back. For some of you, that could be very well what it means. You were literally stabbed in the back somehow, in terms of betrayal, violation of trust and stuff like that. For a lot of you, this simply means that, the subconscious thought patterns are like laying you out. Definitely, causing you to feel a lot of depression, and you think it's the other person and what they're doing, but actually what it is, it's your interpretation of what's going on. So if this person isn't calling you, really what's laying you out is your interpretation for why they're not calling you. They're not calling me, so I'm, giving you an example. The reason why they're not calling me is because I'm not good enough. If I was X, Y, X, Y, and Z, they would probably call me more. They're not with me because I'm not worthy to be with. Stuff like that. It's not their lack of phone call. It's the meaning you're putting behind it. That's what's laying you out. If you reframe that and you turn around and actually look at it and shine the light of truth on it, you realize there's no need to take it personally at all. Them not calling you has nothing to do with your self-worth, okay? And there's really some universal support and healing that is wanting to come through to help you absolve that, okay? So you're not feeling laid out all the time. All right, so next we're going to be looking at how to actually overcome, how to dissolve this karmic block, because this is an actual energetic phenomenon in your energetic makeup right now. And this is something, it did not originate in a past life, but unless this is addressed and healed, it can and it will follow you into the next lifetime. Okay, so real quick, all karmic soul level wounds and blockages, they all exist beyond time, space, and matter. They're energetic. And so the minute that you decide you want to restore your soul memory system, and you don't, and you want to get rid of the highlighted part that is causing you to make these certain choices over and over again, that is resulting in extreme trauma, energetically, it's instant. There's just a time between when you make the choice, there's actions that you have to take in the meantime to where you can experience the result of that healing in the 3D realm, okay? All right, so, and this is what these cards are going to tell us. So these are the actions to take so that you can cement the healing and experience it in a waking and walking life. All right, so first we have speak up. Use your voice to express yourself. And so you really feel like you're such a loving person. Not necessarily someone who likes conflict, maybe even a little bit of a people pleaser. And so this is letting you know if some of your boundaries are being overstepped, express it. Lay those boundaries, express those boundaries, establish those boundaries, and stay firm. And also speak up about your needs and your wants and your desires, okay? Getting into like a new relationship, for example, if you want someone, if it makes you feel good in a relationship when someone, texts you at least once or twice a day, let that be known. Speak up and let your wants, needs, and desires be known, as well as your boundaries, okay? And that includes the toxic soul tie that you may be currently, if you're still currently engaged with that person. If you are engaged with that person, you haven't spoken up about what you want and what you expect and all that good stuff, definitely start there, okay? All right, hard work, commitment, and perseverance. And so breaking this soul tie is not going to be, I don't want to say it's not going to be an easy feat, but there's going to be a time in between while you're healing where you're going to have to work through the heartache. You're going to have to work through the grief. You're going to have to work through some really hard truths. And I don't mean truths as far as like having anything to do with your self-worth. That's not what I'm talking about. Your self-worth is always intact no matter what anybody else is doing. But, you know, there's going to be a time where your wounding is going to scream for pacification. And this may look like reaching out to the toxic person, trying to gain validation from them, you know, things like that, because the two of you really have a soul tie, okay? I mean, like, the two of you have some kind of contracted agreement on a soul level, like before you incarnated here, that was meant to teach you some kind of a lesson and even possibly get you diverted onto the track that you're supposed to be on. Because when you incarnated here, you incarnated with some kind of a karma that was going to have you going down this route when you should be going down this route. And so this person came into your life to basically throw a monkey wrench in it so that it will divert you to go this way, because this way is where you're supposed to be going, okay? And you can really look at it like that. And you'll be, at some point, you will be able to look back and be like, oh, I understand the significance of that relationship, because if it wasn't for that relationship, I never would have gone this way, and I'm so much more happier having gone this way than if had I stayed down this path, if that makes any sense. But breaking that soul tie, because it's very, very likely that the two of you have been following each other for more than just one lifetime, and it could be just because, you know, whatever contract you guys have had, one or both of you didn't successfully fulfill the contract, and so you guys have been repeating the same pattern over and over, lifetime after lifetime. So, you know, your higher self is letting you know it's going to take some hard work and perseverance to really emotionally, spiritually, and mentally detach from the experience that you have with this person, okay? But your higher self and universal support is coming through to help you with that, because you really are destined for something different, something great, and it's like a blank canvas, okay? And the way that you are able to activate that support is by way of the gift of gratitude, all right? So every single day, especially when you feel yourself going down a certain path as far as, you know, a mental loop goes, like if you're, you know, if you're being triggered because they haven't called you, or, you know, what have you, you activate universal support by basically feeling good on purpose. So you sit there and you, rather than focus on everything that's going wrong, focus on everything that's going right, even if it's not related to this person at all, okay? All right, so let's look at the next. What we have is an oracle card that's going to show us the energy that's wanting to come through to support you during this time, okay? Specifically for the healing of this soul level wound. And this is the Crystal Grid Oracle. Deep healing, yes. So that definitely, that goes right back up here with universal support. Yes, so the universe, oh my gosh, the universe, your guides, your higher self, they got your back, all right? Everything that you need to close this chapter in your soul journey is going to be provided for you, because they really want you to close the book on this and get going on the path that you came here to actually fulfill. Okay, oh, we forgot one more. My goodness, we got one more here. My bad. Set intentions, plant the seeds, and watch them grow. Okay, so yeah, and the intentions are more or less keeping yourself in a state of gratitude. because what you focus on grows, okay? And the best thing that you can do is putting this relationship and the hardships in certain perspective, and look for the gift in the mess. Look for the message in the mess. You know, what did this relationship teach you about yourself? You know, what are you going to do the next time around that you'll never let happen again? How are you going to put yourself first and love yourself first and advocate for your needs? And part of that is speaking up for yourself, expressing your boundaries, expressing your needs, expressing your desires, because they matter. You matter, right? And the deep healing is going to come through to help really connect you to that sense of yourself where you realize, I deserve that. I deserve to have my wants and my needs and my desires fulfilled, and I deserve to feel safe and protected in whatever relationship that I might be in, right? Okay, let's see. The next we have a few oracle cards here that are messages from your other person, your ex's higher self, okay, the person you're in the toxic soul tie with. So it's their higher self, all right? And it says, there is someone else. All right, so some of you already know this, whether you know it outright, whether you've seen it, whether, you know, they've told you. Those others of you are, like, you know this on some level. This isn't like news to you. Some of you have felt it on an intuitive level where you just kind of like, you know, you felt it. This is just their higher self letting you know there is someone else in the picture, okay? It's you. It's always been you, okay? So even though this person, whether they stepped out on the relationship and the person that they're with is someone that they're cheating on you with, that they're keeping you, you know what I mean? That has no bearing on, you know, how this person actually feels about you. And to some degree, their higher self is letting you know, this could very well be a soulmate connection, maybe even possibly, I don't know about a twin flame, but there's definitely a soulmate connection here. Does that mean the two of you are going to get back together and live happily ever after? I'm not so sure. Coming back here, this is kind of letting me know as far as like the Fool and then the Ten of Swords. Before, if that's even in the cards, before that could ever even happen, you have to completely, fully, emotionally, mentally, spiritually detach, where you are fine if you are able to go the rest of your life and not be with this person again. Okay, and I know that might feel very difficult at this point in time, but when you get to that point, then if the two of you are meant to reconnect, that's when it would happen, okay? The last card we have, as far as messages from your ex's higher self goes, you are my sun, my moon, and all of my stars. So this person really has, this person has feelings for you. It's like, to the best of their ability that they're able to, depending on their self-awareness, it's like they know you're someone special in their life, but they've got their own toxic mess going on, and stuff like that, okay? So yes, there is someone else, but whoever this person is really doesn't hold a candle to you, okay? Take that for what you will. All right, we got a couple of more oracle cards left. These are just messages from the universe. The first one is from the oracle deck called The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty. And it's making the right decisions. And it says, today I will search for my own truth and I will allow others to do the same. I will value the worth of my own vision and the vision of others. We are all on our own paths making the decisions that are right for us today. Okay, so yeah, that is just reiterating that no matter what the future holds for this connection, right now it's toxic. Right now, this connection is keeping you from moving forward with whatever your life purpose is for this lifetime. Okay. You know, understand that they have their own separate life purpose, and the two of you holding on to this toxic connection is keeping both of you from being able to really move forward. Okay. So universal support, the deep healing, all of that stuff is coming through. So to give you the strength to call it quits for good, to keep that chapter closed so that you can move forward on in your journey. And if the two of your life paths, you know, ever converge back again, then, you know, you can rest assured it's going to be a whole different experience than what you're dealing with right now. All right. Lastly, we have Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection by Mike Dooley. And this says, I heart you. And this is from the universe. If everyone really knew how much they were loved, not only from above, but by those now in their life, there'd be little hearts drawn on everything from wheelbarrows to skyscrapers to jumbo jets, and I so look forward to that day. See, the universe wants you to know how much you are loved and supported. No matter what this toxic connection, how that is lying to you or causing you to lie to yourself about your worth and your deservability, about, you know, whether or not you deserve to have your needs and desires met and stuff. I mean, the universe is letting you know you're it. You're the bomb. You know, you deserve someone who is going to match and mirror what the energy that you bring into a relationship. Okay. All right, you guys, that was your messages. That was your reading. If this video helped you out at all, if it added any kind of value to you, do me a favor and smash that like button, share and subscribe, comment below, let me know. You know, I value your feedback, and I look forward to reading for you again. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 2. This is your reading if you picked the honey calcite or the yellow calcite. Okay. And just real quick, the vibes I'm picking up from this stone, your energy feels so powerful. Oh my gosh. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. Your ability to manifest, like your power to manifest and create the life that you want is just insane in a good way. And oh, my bad. Your energy is so hot that it jumped right out of my hand like it's too hot for you. And actually, you know what? That could just have been kind of signifying how that had something to do with your soul level moon that we're going to be looking at today. And the soul level moon we're talking about is what is keeping you bound in this toxic soul tie to this other person. Okay. And what just happened with that jumping out of my hand, there's a message there, and it's going to come through more in the clearly in the message or in the reading. Okay, we'll find out what that is here in a second. So the first thing we're going to look at is the actual soul level wound itself that is making up this karmic blockage, and we have what's called a negative spirit guide. Okay, so this negative spirit guide is not evil, it's not anything like that. It's just that your higher self hires its spirit guide team throughout various points in your life, and a lot of the times these spirit guides are hired to do a job to guide you, protect you through running certain types of programs to help you, deal with whatever is going on in that stage of your life. And so this particular spirit guide was hired, quote unquote, by your higher self. I'd say, pre-teen years, early teens. So, ages 11 through 15. This is a general reading, so you can give or take a couple of years on that. And the program that it was running is one of unconsciousness. So unconsciousness of what? Unconsciousness of how powerful you are, how gifted you are, how strong, and I even want to say life-giving that you are. This really has the feeling and the power and the vitality of the sun, okay? This is very much sun energy. And think about how important the sun is, the actual sun. If it wasn't for the sun, we wouldn't be able to experience life on this earth. That's you, okay? I'm really getting like goddess, God, divine energy, which I mean, a lot of us are too, a lot of us are, but our energies and our powers are in different areas, and yours is definitely connected to your solar plexus chakra. So your power is so strong, okay? And I believe that's what you were unconscious to, and it may have been because your power may have your abilities, your gifts, your power, just even if it wasn't outward, your soul carries this energetic signature that is so powerful that it can rub other people the wrong way. And maybe you grew up in a family dynamic where your energy and your power, your gifts were not appreciated, and so you were kind of, this spirit guide was hired by your higher self to make you unconscious to your inherent power, your worth, your divinity, and stuff like that, okay? So what we're going to look at is where this energy is mostly affecting you. Here we have the self-love oracle, and usually this, it corresponds to a certain chakra. And here we've got star and good fortune. Yes, star energy, sun energy coming through. Definitely. Oh my gosh, in good fortune specifically. There is no certain chakra that is connected to this. You're just and what that means is that your power is not limited to any certain kind of energy center. You're amazing. You're amazing. So, your unconsciousness has a lot to do with your ability to manifest. Okay? You're very, very powerful. I almost want to say witchy. And I don't know if you grew up in some kind of a family dynamic where whatever powers that you had were not appreciated, looked down upon, or what the deal was. But it was enough to where, in order for you to go through that period of your life with the least amount of harm and pain possible, your spirit guide was hired on to help you basically close yourself off to the knowledge that you were even that powerful, okay? So obviously now your higher self has guided you to this reading to let you know that, this spirit guide, it served its purpose. Now it's time to dismiss them and let them go so that they can go on to their next assignment, so that you're able to hire on a new spirit guide in its place that will help you continue on in your journey in the way that you were meant to, okay? And we'll talk more about healing this as we go on in the reading. Okay, so the next card that we have is an oracle card called the Love Answers Oracle deck. And we are going to, what this card is going to let us know is the basic dynamic, the overall theme of this connection that you have with this person, okay? On a pedestal. Okay, all right. So this is not necessarily saying that this person put you on a pedestal. This is saying that, hello, definitely goddess energy. Okay, so this connection is really supposed to bring you back to yourself, this toxic connection, and trigger the healing of this right here so that it brings you back to the knowledge of who and what you really are. I mean, it's definitely divine, divine goddess, God, whatever you want to call it, divine, divine person energy. All right. Wow. So much. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm getting excited. I'm almost feeling like, you know, you need to be in a spotlight or something. And that's definitely something that you kind of aspire to, but at the same time, you don't. You kind of shy away from the spotlight, even though there's a part of you that knows that's what you need to be in. All right, anyway, so now we have some tarot here that's going to give us more of an in-depth look of how this negative spirit guide is affecting your experience now, as well. It can even, you know, as far as this negative spirit guide and how it's affecting your life, as well as this toxic soul tie. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands. So there's definitely questioning one's self-confidence and worth. And I'll go over these more in detail. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, working really hard, kind of like wasting energy and pursuits that are not really serving you. The Magician reversed. So yeah, you're definitely blocked from hearing from your higher self, and you're blocked from really realizing who you are on a spiritual level. The Five of Pentacles reversed, and then we've got, ooh, look at that, the Sun. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, you're like star energy. And for some of you, that could just mean like you're meant to do really big things, like on a pedestal, behind a podium, in the spotlight. Definitely fame and fortune energy coming through. That doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, superstar fandom or anything. That can mean like you're meant to be widely known in your sphere of influence, okay? And this toxic connection is blocking, this toxic connection that you have with this other person is blocking all of this awesomeness from happening, okay? All right, so let's look at some of these. So the Queen of Wands is reversed. It's all about, yes, so a lack of confidence, having an issue with your self-esteem, possibly hiding, you know, quote unquote hiding. So hiding what? Hiding your sparkle, maybe even like actually hiding, like isolating yourself away from others, shying away from the spotlight. Just, you know, you're meant to shine, and some of you, probably the vast majority of you, are not comfortable shining for whatever reason, okay? And it has something to do with this negative spirit guide and the unconsciousness. So maybe, you know, when you were shining, when you were a teenager, brought you a lot of hate, a lot of criticism, a lot of bullying, you know, because people that you were coming across felt intimidated by your light. And so to help you with that experience so that you didn't accumulate unnecessary karmic baggage, you know, this negative spirit guide came in and started running a program that shielded that part of you from being received, but it also shielded you from it as well, okay? That makes a lot of sense. All right. And then the Eight of Pentacles reversed is just feeling stuck on a joyless, like a hamster wheel that's not bringing you joy. The Eight of Pentacles, by it just in and of itself, is like hard at work, really hard at work. But here, it's like your brilliance is being wasted. You are capable of so much, and you're spending it on things that I mean, not to say it's beneath you, but it definitely is far below what you're capable of producing, what you're capable of manifesting, and you know that. You definitely feel that. The Magician reversed Um, okay, so we did talk kind of about feeling blocked or being blocked from receiving messages from your higher self, but it's more like you feel blocked to manifest the life that you want to live. And this is in every area of life. It's not just love. It's like, God, there's a part of you that knows what you're capable of, and you just like, you can't understand why, now, but we're knowing why. We're learning why now. It's a protective measure that was put in place, but you've outgrown the need for it now. So we are going to rectify the situation during this reading. And then, like, your quote unquote manifester is like, you feel out of control. Like, you're constantly manifesting. All of us are constantly manifesting. You have an abundant power, like a divine power of manifestation. We all do, but you have it in droves. And, where it may take someone, I don't know, 3 months to manifest what they, set their intention towards, you manifest very quickly. And this works both good and bad, but you feel like you're out of control of what you're manifesting, okay? And that's because you've been blocked. All right. The Five of Pentacles reversed. Again, it's that feeling of wasting your energy on pursuits that are unworthy of you. I mean, that really is what it feels like. Like, this is, relationships and business endeavors, jobs. It's just, your ability is so vast, and your energy is being funneled into these things that are, I'm just gonna, it keeps wanting to come out, so they're beneath you, okay? Because you're capable of so much. It's like you're sowing seed into this barren land, and these seeds they're expensive and they're gorgeous, but you keep sowing them in land that is not going to yield any kind of a harvest, and if it does, it's far, it's almost a joke. It's like, so yeah, that's definitely what that feels like. And a lot of this is coming through. So this connection, so this toxic soul tie coupled with this negative spirit guide, is really, it's doing a number on you and your experience here, but that's okay. Your higher self led you here so that we can get this taken care of, so that we can put you back on that pedestal and shine that light on you. All right. So you can like get your thing going, get it going. And then last, we've got the sun, which is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the sun is warm. It's powerful. Its power is so immense. It's optimistic. It's, it's that feeling that you get when it's been raining forever, and then all of a sudden the sun pops out and you're like, yes, I finally get to go outside and walk, and the sun's rays feel so good. And that's really you. And the sun is responsible for making the grass grow and the trees grow and the flowers bloom, and it's responsible for everything. We wouldn't be able to manifest or grow things here on earth, or food, or any, nothing here could survive without the sun. Okay. And that is how important you are. Literally. Oh my gosh. This is such a powerful, powerful reading. All right. So next we have, okay. So first, as far as actually healing this goes, karmic soul level wounds and blockages exist beyond time, space, and matter. Meaning that, energetically, spiritually, the minute you decide you want this issue resolved, immediately it's resolved, okay? On an energetic and spiritual level. There just has to be some time between the decision, making that decision, and there has to be steps and actions that you take in the 3D realm to where that's, you anchor that healing in so that you can actually experience the result of this healing in, waking, walking life. Okay, so the next oracle cards that we have is going to let us know exactly what actions to take to cement this healing and experience the results of this healing in your waking life, all right? So first we've got trust, faith in the power of the universe, which is you. You are the power of the universe. So trust in what? Whatever it is you're wanting to experience here. What do you want to experience? Do you want to experience, you know, a job or a career or a business that you love and you wake up loving? You know, do you want to experience having a family? Do you want to experience having a relationship with a significant other that makes you, you know, feel loved, adored, and all that good stuff? It's whatever you want. You can have all of the above, okay? But you have to trust and have faith in the power of the universe that you have the ability to manifest all of that, okay? So trust, don't stop, a miracle is around the corner. Okay, so see how she almost looks like she's exasperated. She almost wants to stop, but she doesn't see, if she digs just a little bit deeper, you know, there's a gorgeous, gorgeous find. Okay, so don't stop, a miracle is coming. So keep going. Maybe you've been on this healing journey for a while. Or, you know, whatever endeavor, if you're feeling like you're on that hamster wheel, now that we're removing this energetic block, things are going to start moving. So you can keep doing the things that you're doing. Maybe you're wanting to go to school. Whatever this toxic soul tie has been holding you back from, now's the time to start moving forward and don't stop, okay? Don't stop, and you have to have faith and trust that a miracle is just around the corner. All right, and then last here we have create, nurture your creative energy, because that is all part of manifestation. Whatever it is you want to experience, whatever kind of life you want to create, you know, nurture that energy. You know, whatever you need to do to nurture yourself as you're, you know, moving forward and having faith and trust, you know, whether that be exercising, eating right, you know, drinking water, painting, dancing, singing, whatever you do to nurture your creative energy, do that. And that will open up the channel, and it will help to dissipate these dissonant negative energies that have been really throwing a monkey wrench into, you know, what you came here to do, okay? Next we have an oracle card that is going to tell us what energy is wanting to come through to support you as you're anchoring this energy in, okay, this healing in. Manifestation. Oh gosh, I got chills. Whew. So epidote is like the boosting energy of manifestation. Like, be very careful what you're thinking and what you're feeling when you're working with epidote, because that is going to come like quickly. And I actually get very much that this is very much part of your makeup anyway, is this manifestation. But that's definitely what's showing up for you as you're walking this healing out. Okay, so whatever you are needing to manifest in order to break that toxic soul tie and heal from the effects that having this negative spirit guide making you unconscious to the magnificent power that you are, the energy of manifestation is coming through to help you pretty much create the life that you want to live. Okay, and it's going to happen very quickly as long as you keep your manifestor in check. And when I say your manifestor, I mean your thought patterns and your emotional patterns. Okay, keep those things in check. All right, next we have some oracle cards here that are going to be direct messages from the higher self of the other person in this toxic soul tie. Okay, your ex, if you two aren't together, or the situationship or whatever. Okay, first we have, I crave you like no other. All right, well, it's easy to see why. They crave your energy, definitely. they definitely crave your energy. So they pick up on, even though you're unconscious to it, they're not on an energetic level. So being around you actually gives them a boost of something, okay? So they definitely crave your energy like no other. I know I messed up big time. Yep. They're feeling it. This one says, hidden fears and insecurities are blocking our connection. And so hidden means exactly that. So your higher self is fully aware of everything, because our higher selves are connected to universal knowledge and truth. And so while this person isn't consciously aware of these fears and insecurities, their higher self is coming through to let you know they got their own stuff to deal with, right? And so fears and insecurities of what? Your power. Even though you're unconscious to it, your energy is still there, whether you're aware of it or not. And other people pick up on that. The thing is that you're just not acting out of that power because of your unconsciousness. And so you're really dimming your own shine and your own sparkle. That doesn't stop other people from wanting to basically feed off of it, okay? So this person definitely, when they are in your presence, there's something about your energy they're picking up on that triggers a lot of their own fears and insecurities, and they don't know yet. They're very unaware and unconscious to what that is, okay? So that is largely a part of what is making the soul tie so toxic, along with, your own stuff, right? So, yeah. All right, so we've got a couple of more oracle cards. These are just kind of like parting messages from the universe. The first one we have is The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty. And this one says, moving through discomfort. Today I will face discomfort, trusting that feelings of healing and release are on the other side. Help me, God, to feel whatever I need to feel to be whole and healthy while I'm doing this. I will trust that I'm cared for and protected by myself, my friends, my higher power, and the universe. Yes. So definitely, as you're healing from not only just, the effects of the negative spirit guide, but also moving on and working to detach yourself from this toxic soul tie, you are definitely going to experience some kind of discomfort. I'm not picking up that it's going to be something so devastating to you, but there definitely is some attachment still lingering that you still need to go through, that is going to cause you some kind of discomfort, and that the universe is just letting you know to work through that, okay, to face that discomfort, and know that whatever it is that you're feeling in the moment, those feelings are not going to last forever. You are so going to connect to this part of yourself. You're going to be feeling on top of the world, literally the freaking sun. You're nurturing and nourishing the world, let alone feeling on top of it. All right, the last oracle card that we have says, what you give will come back. Yes, manifestation. Okay, it says, when in doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. When there's no doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. Did I make life too easy? P.S. There's no doubt who is number one in my book. So if you have a feeling with this toxic soul tie of what you gave and feeling like you gave so much and you got nothing in return, this is letting you know nothing goes unreturned. You're going to receive, something back. Your good karma is going to come back to you. It's just going to come back to you in a way that you're not, aware of. Okay. So what you give will come back, and this is good and bad. All right. But a message is definitely coming through that if there's a feeling that you were left like with the crappy end of the stick with this relationship, whatever it is you lost in this relationship will come back to you tenfold, if not more. Okay. All right, you guys, I loved this reading for you. If you enjoyed this reading, do me a favor and smash that like button. Share and subscribe, comment below, let me know how, some feedback or what you thought. And I am super excited to be reading again for you sometime soon. I love you. Bye-bye. Well, hello there, pile 3. If you chose the pink tourmaline and quartz, this is going to be your reading. We're going to look at the what is keeping you in this toxic soul tie. What is keeping you so bound to this other person? Okay, like what's helping this attachment from being able to be released, fairly easily. Okay, and from the energy that I get from this stone, pink tourmaline is connected to the heart chakra, and I'm picking up vibes of what you would call an anxious attachment system. So you have so much love to give. Maybe even some of you are very intense with this love. And the quartz amplifies that and drives it out. And so I almost get a feeling like very much a push-pull dynamic in this toxic soul tie where you're pushing and they're pulling away. You push for more love, and the more you push, the more they pull away. And so we'll look and see what more guidance and what more information and insight the cards have to say about this connection, and specifically the soul level wound or karmic blockage that is keeping this attachment, this toxic soul tie attachment intact. Okay, so we're going to look first at the actual soul level wound, the karmic block itself, and what came up is an attached soul. And this isn't what it normally would be in most readings. An attached soul normally in most readings actually talks about a soul from a past life that is following you from lifetime to lifetime. In this particular reading, though, that's not the information that's coming through. The attached soul is actually talking about you and this other person's soul, literally not even attached. It's basically twin flame energy. Okay, so that is why you're having such a hard time detaching from this person, is because they are literally you. They're the other half of you. So like if you are predominantly feminine energy, they're going to be predominantly the masculine energy that makes up your other half, and the two of you in your perfect states and healed states are supposed to balance each other out, and it's supposed to be a beautiful union. The fact that it's showing up as a toxic soul tie means that your healing journeys separately are not yet where they need to be for the two of you to come together and have that ideal twin flame journey. Or this is part of the twin flame journey. It's just not having the happily ever after effect that so many people aspire to, right? All right, so there's definitely a sense of loss with this relationship. Obviously, we know why, because, that's how twin flames are. So definitely picking up, and that is largely part of the reason why you're pushing so hard for this union to happen, is because the sense of loss without that person is so abundant. It's like infused in you. Okay, we are going to work on some of the energetic blocks that are keeping that soul tie, though, because it is toxic, regardless of if it's a twin flame journey, if it's a soulmate journey. It still is toxic, and there still are some karmic energetic blockages that are keeping you from being able to detach emotionally, detach mentally, so that you can still live your life. Okay, regardless of twin flame journeys or not, you're still supposed to be able to live your life and experience your life in a way that feels joyous, thankful, happy, fulfilled, and satisfied, whether or not you're with your twin flame in any given lifetime, because twin flames don't always incarnate in the same lifetime. And so we're never supposed to feel empty or incomplete without our other, our other half of our soul. Okay, I know that sounds kind of contradictory, but honestly, that's how twin flames are able to come together, is by developing yourself in a way where you feel whole as just by yourself, and then the two of you come together and you make a perfect fit. Okay, they're the masculine to your feminine, you're the feminine to their masculine, or vice versa. All right. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is going to be how this energy, or where this energy is doing the most damage, where it's affecting your energy the most. And so we've got Self-Love Oracle, and it looks like the heart chakra. So it's having most of the damaging influence in your heart chakra, and just, your connections, which that's kind of self-explanatory, the healing connection. Yeah, so the experience with this twin flame and this toxic soul tie and this connection with this twin flame is having a really damaging effect on your ability to not only connect to other people, friends, family, just other people in general, but also to yourself. Okay. And that's a big one. That is definitely a big one. And when I mean yourself, I mean like your higher self, the connection to who you are at soul level, the connection at who you are as far as like, your self-worth is concerned, what you deserve, what you're capable of, and things like that. Okay. Next, we're going to look at kind of the overarching theme of the reading. And this says you're stronger than you think. Yes. Yes, you are. If you're not aware of what an anxious attachment system is, definitely go look that up on Google. That'll help you kind of get an idea of what's going on, kind of like in the 3D realm with this attachment. It'll kind of help you figure out how, put things back into perspective, and give you some practical steps to help you heal that kind of toxic attachment. And then, so no matter what's going to show up in this reading, you have the ability to overcome whatever disastrous effects this soul tie has had on your life up to this point. Okay. Next, we got some tarot cards where we're going to be looking at just the effect that this soul tie has had on your experience so far. Let's see, we've got the Six of Wands, Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and I'll go over these one by one here in a minute. The Three of Swords, yeah, I feel that. And then the Hermit. Okay, so the Six of Wands is all about, it's very celebratory. Feeling victorious, and maybe that's how you felt when the two of you, that's how you feel when the two of you are together, or, but you don't need this other half in order to feel this way. You by yourself have reason to celebrate, even if it's small accomplishments, even if it's celebrating the fact that you went a full day without calling or texting or stalking their social media, right? I know that, when you're in the physical presence of this other person, you feel on top of the world. You feel acknowledged. You feel, maybe, I don't know, maybe you feel celebrated, maybe you not, but you definitely feel validated. And that's kind of where that high comes from. But your higher self is coming through to let you know part of this, the whole point of this experience is to realize that you don't need this other person to validate you. You don't need them to validate your worth. You're worthy with or without them. And that's part of the soul journey here, is to bring you back to the truth of who and what you really are. Okay? Let's see, the Knight of Cups reversed. There's definitely some feelings, suppressed feelings. A lot of things went unsaid. And maybe it's for fear of pushing them away, like, you're almost like gun shy. You don't want to pull the trigger because you're afraid, if you say certain things or you act a certain way, it's going to cause them to run away again. So definitely a lot of things have gone unsaid in your relationship, a feeling of suppressing your feelings and your emotions. But doing that is like wreaking havoc. Not doing that is actually having more of a detrimental effect than if you would actually just speak up and let this person know what you need. It's not going to change anything, but understand that what you have been doing by suppressing your feelings and your emotions hasn't had the desired effect either. So part of this lesson in this is getting comfortable with voicing your needs and your desires and your wants with someone, and then regardless of how they show up. If you're getting gun shy when it comes to, hey, I want to be with you, I want to have a relationship, this is what I need for me to feel satisfied, fulfilled, and happy in this relationship. If that causes someone to back off and break things up, then, they're not your person for now, right? Even if they are your twin flame, where they're at in their journey is not in alignment with where you're at in your journey. Okay, and them pulling away is just giving you a signal that both of you have more work to do. Okay, so it's like, speak up, stop suppressing your feelings and your emotions, stop letting things go unsaid, and open your heart to the possibility that what you have to say is deserving of being heard. And then let how they're going to show up, just let them show up how they're going to show up. So the Page of Pentacles is all about diving into your what interests you, what makes you feel passion, honing your skills and your ideas, learning new crafts, and immersing yourself in hobbies. This is part of how you're going to heal from this connection. This is part of how you're going to be able to detach yourself, is by investing in yourself in terms of just going headlong into the things that bring you joy. Regardless of if you feel joy in the interim, keep doing it anyway. Go out with friends, paint, write, sing, dance, work out, draw, do whatever it is that brings you a sense of passion, a sense of joy, a sense of creativity, anything that is going to nurture your creative self. Okay, as long as there is something that you're really feeling passionate about, that's definitely going to be a way that you're going to be able to heal from this connection and foster the detachment, mentally, emotionally, physically, however you need to detach from this person. The Three of Swords, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's the wounded heart, right? What you have to realize, though, is while this looks really painful, and it is, this heart's not completely ripped open. It's not shredded. It's not completely destroyed. It's still intact. It's just been wounded. So you're not broken. I know you feel like that sometimes. A lot of the times, too, sword energy represents mental thought energy. And so this connection has either kicked off a new thought pattern, or it has reaffirmed an existing one of your own thoughts and feelings about yourself. And that's actually what is piercing and breaking your heart. Okay? What another person does has no direct reflection on your own worth, what you're capable of, all that good stuff. Okay? So these hearts that are piercing your heart isn't necessarily because that's what the other person does, regardless of what they did. If they're not calling you, if they're dating other people, no matter what they're saying to you or how they're treating you, it's how you are feeling about that, the meaning that you're taking, okay? You know, if somebody tells you that the sky is red and you look up and you see that the sky is blue, you're just going to look at them like, okay, whatever, you know? The reason why this hurts so much is because there's a part of you deep down inside that is making this very personal, okay? Someone who is constantly cheating on you or putting you down actually has nothing to do with your self-worth. That's a reflection of them, because people don't usually go around, you know, who are completely fully healed. Healed people don't go around hurting others, okay? Hurt people hurt other people. So, you know, what's going on with this is just letting you know that you're the one that's actually breaking your heart the most, okay? And a lot of that heartache is coming from your own thoughts about yourself, your own beliefs about yourself, more in the area of your self-worth, okay? And this twin flame connection, this toxic twin flame connection as it stands right now, is really here to trigger this so that you can work on healing this part of yourself, that thinks that the reason why this connection went south is because it's something that you did, or that you're not worthy, or, you know, you're not good enough, or whatever, okay? I'm getting a strong sense of that. And then the Hermit reversed is just a call, like, if this connection, if the pain from this connection has caused you to really kind of isolate yourself, or if this connection by itself, whether it was in the good stages or bad stages, caused you to withdraw from your friends, withdraw from your passions, withdraw from the outside world in any way, it's time to come out of hiding, basically. If you've been kind of withdrawn from the outside world because the pain of this you know, toxic attachment has caused you to really kind of go within and spend a lot of time healing, your higher self is letting you know it's time to join the outside world. There's, you know, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. You still need to be able to come out and put yourself in the presence of people who demonstrate their love for you, okay? That's a really big one. Yes, you can still spend some time healing. Some healing is still needed here, but don't make it to where it is actually going to be a self-destructive thing or a self-sabotaging thing, okay? So even if you don't feel initially like you want to go out and visit with your friends and stuff, go out with them anyway. You need to be around people who are showing you and demonstrating to you that you are worthy of being loved, okay? That's going to help you heal this toxic attachment, okay? Okay, all right, next we're going to look at how to cement this healing from this attachment into your waking and walking life, all right? So this is gonna kind of be like some steps on how you can actually energetically detach from this toxic soul tie, okay? Speak up. Use your voice to express yourself. Yes! That goes right back to here. We just talked about that. So whatever is being left unsaid, start speaking up. Okay? If this person's acting up or they're showing their butt, you know, let them know. I'm not okay with this. What's going on here is, you know, I deserve better. All right, so definitely use your voice to express yourself, express your needs, your wants, your desires, express your boundaries, stuff like that. Hard work, commitment, and perseverance. And this is for you, hard work and commitment and perseverance to yourself and your healing, okay? It's not detaching from a toxic twin flame tie is harder than most. So, but, you know, that's what you're here to do. You're here to overcome this, because what's going to lie on the other side of it is the best version of you possible. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the two of you are going to come together in this lifetime, because there's two of you. You have to do your healing work, and the other person has to do their healing work as well. Okay, so if they're not doing their healing work, then, you know, more than likely the two of you are not going to be able to actually come together in this lifetime. Although usually that's why twin flames incarnate in the same lifetime, is so that they can trigger that soul level healing in each other. But the fact of the matter is you got to let go of wanting to control that journey. All you can do is control your part, let them go, so that, you know, that you letting go will possibly trigger them to do their part. Okay. All right, let's see. So hard work and perseverance, commitment to your own healing, and that includes letting go of wanting to control the other person in the soul tie. Okay. Last, we have energy, intensity, passion, and power, and that goes back to right here. This is where you're wanting to focus your energy and your power and your passion, is in your passions and your interests and, you know, your pursuits and stuff like that. Okay, so that's how you're going to heal and detach from this toxic soul tie. Let's see. Next, we have an oracle card that's going to tell us exactly what kind of energy is wanting to come through to support you as you're healing from this toxic soul tie. Okay, and this is the Crystal Grid Oracle deck, and here we have, oh, your spirit guides. All right, so divine guidance, and you know, it's very possible that the two of you share maybe a couple of spirit guides, and so, and your higher self as well is in there. So call upon your spirit guides, call upon your higher self, call upon you know, the universe, and whatever you're dealing with as far as like when you're in the mud, the really raw part of this disconnection as you're trying to detach from this person, call on your spirit guides, call on your higher self to give you whatever it is you're not experiencing. So if you're feeling pain, ask yourself, what is it that I'm needing that I'm not getting? Okay, well, I'm not getting texted from them. Well, what feeling would I get if I were texted by them? Okay, well, I would feel wanted and feel loved. Call on your guides, you know, and your higher self. You know, how can I feel loved, you know, without needing that from this other person? That's the whole point, is figuring out how to come back home to yourself. And when you come back home to yourself, you experience love, validation, safety, comfort, all that good stuff. And it's not dependent upon what anyone else outside of you does or doesn't do. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now we have an oracle cards here that are direct messages from basically your twin flame in this particular instance. Okay. And here we have, I'm confused about what I want right now. And I'm pretty sure they probably have communicated that to you to some level. Third parties are interfering in manipulative energies. So this could be an actual person or people. And if it is actual physical people, you have to understand how powerful it is when twin flames come together and incarnate in the same lifetime. It's actually supposed to be very rare, although I believe it's happening now more often, just because, as you know, as humans, we're ascending. So yes, this could be actual people. This could actually be spiritual forces that are trying to keep the two of you in this constant state of conflict, because when two twin flames come together and both of them are healed, you instantly raise the consciousness of the planet. Okay, and there's a lot of lower, denser energies that do not want that to happen, because they can't exist in a world like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Their higher self is letting you know what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, last we have I'm scared of losing you. Okay, so you are in their heart very much. So the intensity that you feel with them, they also actually feel with you. I don't know if they are aware of the twin flame concept or the journey, but as connected and drawn as you feel to them, they actually feel to you as well. It's just, if you look at the dynamics between an anxious attachment system versus an avoidant attachment system, you know, when they deactivate, you know, when they shut down, that's just their way of dealing with things, okay? But when, you know, all of that settles down, deep down inside, they know who you are, okay? And they are afraid of losing you. Don't let that stop you, though, from detaching yourself from this toxic attachment so that you can do the healing that needs to happen. And you do have to, so here, this is what this is telling me, is you got to be the stronger one here. You have to be the stronger one. You have to realize that the two of you are not going to be able to live any kind of happily ever after until you heal and they heal. And then you can come together and have your happily ever after. But if you do not separate and detach from this, you know, the toxic attachment as it now exists, you're going to continue on in this messed up dynamic, and it's going to continue to be toxic. And the longer that you allow that toxic attachment to exist, the worse it's going to get. Okay, you think you're heartbroken now. You haven't seen anything yet, is what your higher self is saying. Okay. All right. Lastly, we have just some parting messages from the universe to you regarding this issue. Okay. Setting deadlines. It says, today I will consider whether a deadline might be helpful in some area of my life. I claim divine wisdom and guidance in setting appropriate deadlines for resolving any issue that might be lingering in my life. And you know what's coming up? Moving. And now I don't know if this means moving, like if you and your twin flame live together, and maybe it's a deadline like, okay, the lease is going to be up in a couple of months, you know, get your stuff together, or, you know, we're moving out. I'm not renewing the lease. Or it could be you actually saying, okay, I'm going to follow this Page of Pentacles. I'm going to follow my passions, follow my interests, and maybe that means moving where? Across the city, across the state, to a whole new place. You know, setting a deadline where it's like, you've got this amount of time to get your ish together, and if you don't get it together, I'm moving on. I'm moving. Okay, so I'm actually getting a literal move coming through from to here for a lot of you. That ties back to the Page of Pentacles. That is largely the key to your healing and being able to detach in a healthy way. Okay, and for some of you, it could, you know, however you want to interpret this, but for a lot of you, I see an actual move. Okay. All right, and then we have love is never in vain. When you finally see what this whole time-space thing is all about, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, and you're going to be so, 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 so happy you loved as much as you did. Okay, so yes, love is never in vain. You will get to a point to where you're like, you know, you're happy that you were able to love as much as you did, just as a card says. All right, you guys, those are your messages. If this video added any value to you, do me a favor and smash that like button, share and subscribe, and let me know in the comments how this video helped you. I always welcome honest feedback. All right, you guys, I'm excited to read for you again sometime soon. Love you. Hi, Pile 4. How is it going? All right. If you picked the Ametrine, which is amethyst and citrine mixed together, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be looking at the karmic blockages or the soul level wounding that is keeping you bound in this toxic attachment. Okay. So right away, just from the energy of this crystal, I feel like you're an old soul. No matter how many times your physical body has gone around the sun, your soul feels very mature, like it's been around for eons. And but there's also definitely a spunk and a spice to you as well. It's like you might be old, but you'll always be young at heart no matter what. So it's kind of like definitely a marriage between wisdom, so the wisdom that comes with experience and being connected to universal truth and just, wise beyond your years, coupled with the youthful desire to really experience life, right? And so definitely getting sage and what was the other one? Magician, sage and magician. An old soul, but definitely keeping people on their toes. You always have new tricks up your sleeve. Tricky, but definitely, what's that word? Never a dull moment around you at all. At all. Love it. Okay, so let's look at the so first what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the actual energetic blockage, the actual soul level wound that is affecting and binding you, keeping you bound in this toxic soul tie. Okay, and so what came up is a spell, and all a spell is just a repeating thought pattern. Okay, think about being hypnotized, and yes, a thought pattern can be it's something that we've created ourselves, and it can be, about ourselves, about another person, but for the most part, when we get lost in a spell, it usually has something to do with, how we perceive ourselves, our relationship to the world, to others, and stuff like that. Okay, so when you think of a spell, it's not anything that anybody cast on you. No one can attach anything onto you without you somehow accepting it and giving it permission to be attached. Okay, so when we're talking specifically about a spell, there is a negative thought pattern that is in constant loop. Okay, and this spell, this negative thought pattern would have originated around the ages of 8 to 10 years old, give or take a couple of years. It's a general reading. So think about, that point in time and what was going on in that time of your life. And the kind of spell, the flavor that it has is one of loss. Okay. So that is what is keeping you bound and aggravating and feeding, I should say. That's what's feeding this toxic attachment with this other person. That's what's making it so hard for you to detach from this attachment and move on. Okay, and very similar to reading number 3, to a lesser degree though, not as much. I am picking up on a push and pull dynamic. If you're not too familiar with attachment systems, look up anxious attachment system and avoidant attachment system. I'm picking up on that dance for the people in this reading as well. Now, who is who on this one, I'm not quite sure. There could be a mix of you, so I'll let you decide who's the one that is always pulling away and who's the one that's always pushing. Okay, that's up to you. All right, so what we're going to first look at is what this toxic attachment is here to teach you. Okay, and here we have even better. So what exactly does that mean? So it means that you are meant to get what your heart desires, and you can trust that. Sometimes the thing that you want comes in a different way or form than you had imagined, and when you grip too tightly to your picture of how you think things need to look in order for you to feel okay and happy, you'll often miss out on the magic that the universe wants to give you. All right, so you got to trust that your desires have been heard, that you are receiving what you want, and you need to let go of the frame and focus solely on the what makes you happy, the content of your desire. Stay connected to how you feel, or how it would feel to have your desire manifest, and know that as you lock in to that vibration, you'll receive what you've been wanting in whatever form is truly best for you and in your highest good. All right, So you need to remind yourself often that it's, it's this or something better. So this is teaching you to kind of look at the way things are going and saying, yeah, in an ideal world, this connection would happen. And a toxic attachment will often lie to you and tell you, if you're the anxious attachment, that they'll never be better than this. Or if you're the avoidant attachment, the lie can be that the grass is always going to be, better on the other side, right? And so, however you're wanting to take that, even better, that's just kind of learning how to take things as the universe develops it, right? And not trying to control the outcome or the way that it's going to be delivered. And I'm getting the majority of you are going to be resonating more with the anxious attachment. So you're going to be the one that's pushing for this relationship to happen. I think very few of you are going to identify as the ones that are constantly pulling away. So for you to be like even better means that whatever you are experiencing now, if you're being told the lie, like if this toxic attachment is telling you the lie that it'll never get better than this is kind of the push. The universe is telling you that you have to believe and have faith and trust that yes, things are going to get even better. That's what this toxic attachment is here to teach you. Basically is to realize when this attachment is lying to you, okay? And really all it's doing is reinforcing the lies that this wounding is feeding you, okay? This negative thought pattern of loss that has been circulating in your brain since the time you were 8 or 10 years old, 8 to 10, okay, give or take a couple of years. All right, now we're going to look at where this attachment has been affecting you the most, okay? So this is sacral chakra energy. So, issues of creativity, definitely affecting you in the area of, sexual issues, even financial and manifesting issues, things of that nature. And so it says flow with life. And so the toxic attachment is really, and that kind of couples well with the even better, because it's been kind of marring your ability to see where it's important to let go and let things fold naturally, or let things unfold naturally. Let things unfold naturally. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Okay, so I can see how the spell, this negative thought pattern that is looping in your brain of, wanting to guard yourself against loss is going to keep you in a constant state of wanting to control how a relationship develops, how it's maintained, how and where the other person, what they need to do in order to make you feel like you're okay, like you're safe, like you're wanted and loved and validated and stuff like that. All right. And so the lesson here is to know that you don't need anybody outside of you validating your worth. You don't need anybody outside of you doing anything to make you feel safe. Part of this connection and the lesson of this connection is to bring you back home to yourself and know that you don't need anything or anyone outside of you to make you feel loved, make you feel connected, make you feel validated, make you feel worthy. You don't need anybody outside of yourself to make you feel safe. All of those things are already inherently who you are, okay? So part of the lesson of all of this is to realize when you heal all of that toxic mess, you are able to come back to yourself and be like, oh, wow, even better is possible. Like whatever it was that I thought, like, you thought this relationship was the peak, like it's not going to get any better. Well, just, hold on, because the universe has a lot of good surprises for you, okay? But you have to be able to flow with life and not be scared of the loss of this relationship, okay? And whatever triggers that brings up. All right, next we have some tarot cards here that are going to give us more detailed information about how exactly this karmic wound and this toxic soul tie have been affecting and influencing your experience, okay? We've got the Six of Swords reversed, the Sun reversed. I'll explain these all after I get them laid out. The Ace of Swords, Nine of Wands, and then we've got the Hanged Man. Okay. All right, so the Six of Swords reversed is like feeling stuck. Also could mean like plans falling through. So when this is upright, it usually signifies moving on. You know, and an actual physical move. So for some of you, you know, maybe you had plans with this other person to actually move in together, or maybe to even take the next step, whatever the next step was. So the next step could be moving in together, you know, and maybe that included for you like an actual move from another city, from another state, what have you. The next step could have been getting married, anything like that, and like those plans fell through for whatever reason. Okay, that's going to be true for some of you. There's also a feeling of, you know, wanting to move forward. So the Six of Swords is all about, it's the moving on card, you know, whether it's emotionally, mentally, or actual physical move. And so reversed, it means you're wanting to move on, but you're feeling stuck. You don't know how. Feeling confused on what the next step should be in order to move on. Okay, so there's definitely that feeling here in regards to this toxic attachment. You want to move on. You know that that's the best thing for you to do. But there's just this energetic blockage that is keeping you bound in this attachment, emotionally, mentally, possibly even spiritually, and you're not really quite sure on how to disconnect that. Okay, but that's what this reading is for. It's to help you learn exactly what that next step is to be. All right. The Sun reversed. You know, the Sun is always a really good card, whether it's upright or reversed. It's just letting us know when it's reversed. You know, it's like you're raining on your own parade. You know exactly how special you are. You know what you're capable of. You know how magical you can be. And you're letting this toxic attachment really causing you to rain on your own parade, right? And so part of turning that energy around is, you know, healing. It is healing the triggers that this toxic attachment is bringing up, okay? That's another point of this toxic attachment, is to trigger the things in you that need to be healed so that you can come back home to who you are. And it's basically the Sun, you know, the Sun upright. You know, you're the warmth, you're the sage, you're the, you know, you're the fun loving, easygoing, you know, wise old soul who will forever have the heart of, you know, someone young. You know, the one that everybody wants to be around. That's you, because, you know, if you're not partying, you are sharing wisdom and things that can really help and heal people. You know, you just have that energy. So, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of a mood you're in. Sometimes you're pensive, sometimes you're, you know, outgoing in the life of the party. Maybe not always, but no matter what mood you're in, people want to be around you. Okay. And the fact of the matter, I mean, you are the parade, but you're raining on your own parade. And, you know, this toxic attachment is why. Thankfully, we're learning what the issue is so that you can come back home to yourself and you know, really start to enjoy yourself again. The Ace of Swords. So there's a definite feeling of reclaiming your power. And this is a new beginning coming. So I don't know if this is something that you are now currently experiencing, or this is right on the horizon, it's coming. So the effects of this toxic attachment are really going to give you a whole new perspective, just on life in general, on how you see yourself, on how you see relationships. It's going to really cause you to look back and see, you know, okay, I can see how my part in this, what my part was, how I played a part in this, and then, you know, give you a whole new perspective on your own power, how you were able, you know, how you were able and willing to form this relationship for it to go in the way that it did, because there's two players here. It's not just them doing wrong. There was some things that you allowed, right? And so, but this is a very good sign, because you're reclaiming your power. You know, so you might be feeling as if, you know, you got the crappy end of the stick in this whole deal, but what you're actually going to see is like, oh, had I done things differently, you know, had I thought differently about myself, had I, you know, placed boundaries and protected myself, none of this would have happened. And that's in a good way, right? So you're going to be learning some valuable lessons and seeing things in a whole new different light. And you're going to be able to take those with you. And, you know, those lessons are going to affect you in every area of life, not just in future relationships. You know, it's really actually a really good sign. The Nine of Wands, it's all about boundaries. So the two of these actually, so yeah, you're going to be looking at where, and maybe this is even something that you now just started to do. Yeah, this, you know, for some of you, this is something you just started doing. This relationship definitely made you feel, you know, this toxic attachment left you feeling emotionally bruised and battered. But you're realizing that it wasn't so much the other person, it was the triggers that this other person that brought up in you. And that was the point of the whole thing. You know, it caused you to confront your own self-limiting beliefs and your attitudes that left you feeling emotionally and even mentally, you know, battered and bruised. So, you know, despite the challenges, the cool thing is about it is that you're realizing you won. And that's part of the awesome perspective you're going to realize. You know, at first, or at, you know, first glance, it looks like you got the crappy end of the stick, but you're going to realize how, you know, you actually came out on top somehow. Okay. The Hanged Man is just letting us know that things are going to be moving again. You may have felt like this toxic attachment has left you feeling suspended. You know, maybe like the whole world just seemed to stop when this toxic attachment really got going, or this relationship got going. Well, things are going to start moving again. Okay, if they haven't already started moving. All right, next we have, so as far as healing this negative thought pattern goes, all karmic soul level wounds and blockages and stuff, they all exist beyond time, space, and matter. So the minute that you decide you want this issue to be resolved, it happens instantly, energetically and spiritually. The minute you decide you want to be out of, you know, from underneath the spell, energetically, it's already done. Okay. There's just going to be some time in between, you know, the energetic healing where, you know, you have to take some actual actions, you know, take some steps to anchor in that healing in this 3D physical realm so that you can actually experience it in your walking and waking life. And so what we're going to look at now is some oracle cards here to let us know what steps those are to take to actually anchor in that healing. Okay. First we have dream, build castles in the sky. So that goes up with the even better. Like, so your higher self is telling you to dream big, build those castles in the sky. So if your wounding is telling you that it's not going to get any better than this relationship, you're not going to find anybody as good looking as them, or you're not going to find anyone that makes you feel the way that they did, or whatever. Your higher self is saying part of healing this spell is realizing that there is someone out there. There are lots of people out there that's going to be even better for you. Okay. In any which way, shape, or form that you want it to be. All right. Next we have the moon, unconscious or subconscious mind, feminine, and intuition. So this is saying to really tap into your divine feminine energy. And so that goes back to going with the flow of life. Okay, our inner masculine wants to control things. It wants to guide things. It wants to develop things. It wants to make things a certain way for us to feel a certain way. Feminine energy flows with life. It rests. It has trust and faith that what it needs is going to be provided. And so your higher self is telling you to definitely tap more into your feminine energy, to activate the feminine energy, and to let the masculine energy rest. Okay. Next we have healing. Allow light to enter your wounds. And so that's meaning like work with the triggers. You know, face the triggers. Whatever triggers, whatever hurts and pains, whatever memories, whatever images or beliefs that this toxic attachment is throwing up, work with those triggers. You know, allow the light to enter your wounds. Allow the light to shine on those triggers so that you can heal them and reverse them and neutralize them. Okay? All right, next we have an oracle card, and this is going to let us know what energy is wanting to come through to help support you in the healing of this negative thought pattern, okay, and this toxic attachment. Oh, and it's compassion. All right, so compassion, period. Mainly for yourself, though. Compassion for yourself in not knowing what you needed to know when you needed to know it, okay? This is a healing journey for you. It's a learning journey for you. And so, you know, your mind is going to want to take you back and say, oh, why did I allow that? Why did I let that happen? Why didn't I see that? Whatever lies are trying to make you really hard on yourself in regards to this negative thought pattern and this toxic attachment, the energy of compassion is wanting to come through and really love on you and give yourself a pass for not knowing what you needed to know when you needed to know it. That's the whole point of a soul journey, is learning these lessons, okay? All right, now we have a few oracle cards here that are going to be direct messages from the higher self of your other person, okay? The other person in this toxic attachment. I crave you like no other. So okay, so yeah, they definitely crave your energy, but there might even be a powerful sexual connection in that. Could be both. I'm starting to understand our soul connection. Okay. So maybe they are, because of your absence, they're starting to understand the significance the part that you played in their life. And that just goes to show you, the more that you allow yourself to pull your energy back off of this person, and when I say that, I mean your energy, I mean not just pulling your physical presence, pulling your energy completely, like doing things to stop yourself from constantly thinking of them, you know, things of that nature. Like when you are getting to a point where you can go a day or two without really thinking too much about them, that's going to trigger and activate their own healing. So that if the two of you are ever going to end up back together, I'm not saying that that's what the card says, but, you know, the relationship as it is now is still toxic. If the two of you are ever going to be together again, be together again in a way that is healthy and nourishing for your soul journey here, you know, you have to be able to allow them what it feels like to not be in your energy anymore, because they crave it. They crave you, okay? So when you pull your energy back, that causes them to really see who and what you are to them and the significance that you played in their life, okay? It says, I can't be who you need me to be right now. So, how do I put this? What you deserve the kind of person that you deserve, the kind of significant other that you deserve and you are capable of attracting. Currently, this person is not that, and they know it. Okay, now their higher self is the one that's coming through with this message, so that doesn't necessarily mean that their avatar is aware of this, but their higher self is letting you know what you're capable of attracting and what you're capable of doing and what you're capable of producing and manifesting. This person is basically not in your league. You're out of this person's league. You deserve better. And this person, their higher self at least, definitely knows it. Okay? And so on a soul level, this person definitely crave you. Their avatar craves you, not just their higher self. Their avatar actually craves you. Their higher self isn't so much saying that it craves you, because our higher self knows, because we know that part of us is also beyond time, space, and matter. So it knows that it doesn't need you, but their higher self is letting you know this person they really do crave you. And they're starting to understand exactly who and what you are in their life. Okay, and your absence is having an effect. All right, so last we've got a couple of messages here from your higher self, like just parting messages, okay? And it says, achieving clarity in my relationship. Today, I will remember that even the best relationships have low points. If the low point is the norm in my current relationship, I may have to consider if I want it to continue. If the low point is temporary, I will practice understanding. I know that I will achieve clarity and make the right decision. So that just basically goes back, and this is letting me know that the low point is like a permanent thing. Okay, this person is not capable of giving you what you are worthy of receiving. Okay, and so whatever this low point is, it's not going to get any better. This is how it's always going to be, and it may even get worse, because this person still needs to heal. They have their own healing journey to do. As long as you are pushing for this relationship and, as long as you're the one texting, trying to make the relationship work, this person is not going to be activated to heal, okay? Last we have, be true to yourself. You may not ever understand what's going on in their life, but you can always figure out what's going on in yours, all right? So that's just saying, let them go. Right now is not the time for the two of you to be together. You have bigger and better things to move on to. Is there a chance that the two of you your paths may cross in the future? Sure. But as it stands right now, this person is not what you need. There's something better on the horizon for you, okay? All right, you guys, those were your messages. If this video helped you at all or added any value to your life, do me a favor and smash that like button. Definitely share and subscribe and comment it below. I always value your guys' feedback. I look forward to reading for you guys again. I will see you soon. Bye.